Alrighty, everyone. Hopefully you have your packet number 6 out. I am featuring the product from the Painterly Pears Sweet Collection. It is in the online store, and we're also using the Painterly Pears 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. Now I'm just going to kind of show you a few things. You're going to need friend. Wait, I think, nope, sorry, hello. Hello is going to go on the front part of the card. And so if you have something that fits that particular size, that would be great. The inside is going to say a friend is a good gift. So if you have a good friend is a gift. Boy, I can't read. But if you have anything similar to that, that's awesome. In this stamp set and the suite, everything up here is stamped and then colored in. Those same dies have the ability to cut out the Designer Series paper. Everything over here is extra, and so the sentiments, 4 of the sentiments fit in the 2 labels, and then a good friend is a gift, that one doesn't fit on any of the labels. All right, so that is what you're going to need. So if you have something similar, go ahead and grab that. And we're going to pull this out of the bag. And then, so now yours might be a little different. And some of you might have a small pear or a large pear for the inside of the card. And so the front of my card is going to use the large pear. If you have something that's cut off, that is the Designer Series paper. That's the edge. So I'm actually going to show you how to use that in your inside of the card to help decorate the pretty side. So the one with the cut off, that is going on the inside. So you might have, my original card, I used the small. Okay, so you also have the flowers. And so then I used the inside pear. So I'm just going to show you how to put that together. Let's grab let's grab the inside first. And we're just going to put all our parts, we're going to stamp first and then put together. Okay, guys. I love it when Stampin' Up! Really thinks it out and puts the Designer Series paper to work. So then that way the dies have a double duty. All right, so the first one, we're going to use Secret C, and that's going to be the hello. And if you have something this small, that's great. If you don't, I'm really sorry. But you can also use friend. So if you actually have the Perfectly Pear stamp set, friend fits in there as well. But I wanted to do hello. And then that way we can use the friend. A good friend is a... Okay, so then we're going to take the inside and we're going to stamp that. Now, if this doesn't turn out, I'm going to show you what would happen. So we're going to do a tap, tap, tap. You're inking a stamp, not killing a spider. I heard that from somebody, and that made me laugh out loud. So I'm going to use that as well. Okay, so now if I messed this up and I did not attach, you could certainly fold this over and have a new piece, because once you glued it, you would never see that. So that's the reason why I kind of like to do the way I do my cards. Also, I like to be able to see the color. When I attach this on the back, I see the color on the outside. When I open it, I also see the color on the inside, or from the inside. But also, this helps me so that if I had a boo-boo, I could take that, fold that, and glue that puppy down, and nobody would even be the wiser. So that works out really great for me. Okay, so that is the end of the Secret Sea. Now grab Petal Pink. Now, if you don't have Petal Pink, you could certainly use another lighter shade of pink. Grab your blending brush and just grab some color. And so I'm just going to swirl off, and we're just going to start in the center and just have a little bit of color from the outside, and we're bringing that on the inside. And I love the fact that Stampin' Up! Lists the colors, so it tells you what ink pads work really well with it, or the designer, like the designer series paper on the back side. I could also use Darling Duckling if I wanted to. Okay, so that is about how much I wanted to see. And just close that up. Okay, so then seeing as how we are doing the inside of the card, this piece is, this piece right here. Now this piece is flat like that. So I can move that all the way over if I wanted to, or I could put this all the way over here. So on the designer series paper, every sheet, I could put that right. I think I like it there. Okay, so I'm going to grab my craft sheet, and I have the silicone brush. It used to be about that long. My friend Carolyn gave it to me. And what I am going to do is I'm going to take my glue, and I'm just going to do this right up in the corner. And I don't need a lot of glue right now, but I'm just going to take that and just going to poke that on. And I'm going to kind of do that up here so that it's not going to squish out. But we're going to use the same technique with the hash mark. Am I over here in the... Okay, good. I just want to make sure that I am definitely in camera. Okay, so there we go. Now that's the inside. So some of your pears might be bigger, okay? And then that works really well as well. So we're going to take this and add that to the front of our card base. I call this a card base. This is our card. This is our card base. And this is a very nice way to use up your edges from the die cut, because they did not, all the image, the designer series paper always has those images at the end. And if you don't use them, you're throwing them away. And so I wanted to show you how to use that. All right, so we're going to take this piece and we're going to put that over to the edge, leave about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom, okay? And then we're going to take dimensionals and we're going to put the pink down, and we're going to grab the take your pick tool. I think I accidentally put that, in the wrong bin. Okay, so we're going to grab the dimensionals. I don't have fingernails, so the take your pick tool, the people poker, is like the best thing ever for me. Okay, so I'm just going to take that, stab and grab those backings and stack them up and throw them away. They don't end up all over your table, your craft space. Okay, so this is going to go a little bit over again to the left-hand side. Nope, no, don't do it yet. I forgot. Yes. So we're supposed to add the designer series paper. I forgot. Sorry. Hope you didn't get that far. Okay, so this piece is going to hang off the Mossy Meadow Designer Series paper, okay? And then this ribbon. Now, there's two sides to this ribbon. I am going to use, this is the darker side, this is the lighter side. I am actually going to use the lighter side. And so I am just going to take the Stampin' Seal and just put the majority of a strip. Now I'm going to try to do this so that it comes off just a little bit over here. Not too much, but just a little bit off there. And then there we go. And then I have a little bit of fray, so I'm just going to snip that off and make all kinds of noise. Trying to get that out of my toolkit. All right. So we're just going to snip that. There we go. And that's what it's looking like so far. Okay, now we can put the petal pink on. It's like, duh, Joy, what are you doing? All right, so we're done stamping, so I can get rid of that Stampin' Pearson mat. Now this is going to go a little bit more over towards the left. So, and this piece, the part where the line, the point meets, we're going to put that so that you don't see the Designer Series paper underneath it. So you see the white. Okay, so now we're going to do that same technique again, where take a little bit of tape, you could, now if you don't have your a silicone piece, like brush, like this, you can certainly do the same technique with a sponge dauber or a sponge and just attach that glue. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit more there because I'm running out of glue. And that, whoa! Well then, we're going to put that back. So, anybody ever have that happen? I'm sure. All right, so we're just going to do a little bit. Now try not to move your glue. Keep your finger down, and there we go. All right, so then this is going to go across the way. Okay, just lie that down. And no over glue. Okay, so what I do with this is I take this piece out if I can. And then this is the reason why I do things the way I do. I purposely tried to make a mess so that I could show you how to put it back. No, not really. But I guess I will show you. You just take that, scoop that back in. So we are not wasting that. And then we'll just put that back in. Just like that. And then there's a little bit more glue right here. And if you ever have like a glue bubble, take this off, and that will help you release that bubble without having what just happened to me. So now we have sticky fingers. All right, so now we're going to add the pear. Now just make sure that you put that in the non-glued area and put dimensionals on your pears. So it's either going to be small pears or a big pear. So what you got? All right, so again, stab and grab those backings and throw that away. And that's just going to go right there. Now, it kind of hid some of my crosshatch. So if you wanted to cut that and spread that out a little bit more, if you had a big pair like I did, you can do that as well. We're just going to take a little bit of the glue and kind of do the not going to do the whole thing, because this is going to go at the corner of our flowers, or the corner of our what do you call it? Label, I guess, right? All right, and then this one, we're going to put mini glue dots on that. And then this, we're going to put, I'm actually going to just lay this in my glue. It just needs to be down at the tip, because that is where my leaves meet. And then I just got a little bit too much glue right there. All right, so then now that's our leaves. And then we're going to take the mini glue dots, or sorry, the mini dimensionals, and we're going to put that right there. I got 2. And so we're going to do 1 and 2. Just stab and grab those backings. Okay, and then that is going to go right there. Okay, now you have the low profile sparkling dots, and I gave everybody 1 color of each. So then that way, everybody got a chance to play with them, and you get all the different colors. All right, so I'm going to do the Darling Duckling right there. And then I am going to do the, I am going to put this, actually, I'm going to put that right there. That is the Mossy Meadow, and then this one is the Secret Sea. And I'm going to put that down right there so we could see all 3 different colors. Okay, so then now we have a beautiful card, and we're going to take the Wink of Stella, and we're going to color the flowers. And I'm going to do my leaves and the stem on the Designer Series paper. Now, we don't have to clear off because this is not ink, but if you had the ink pad, you would have to clear that off between the colors because you didn't want to transfer the colors. Now, I'm going to do the inside. I'm just going to do the leaves and kind of like the darker side. Okay, just a little bit. All right, what do you think of card number 6? We are done. So thank you very much. Happy stamping.